Hey guys, it's Simmy, and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as we are here on the 26th of July, 2021, to talk about everything that went down tonight on Monday Night Raw. As far as tonight's Monday Night Raw goes, wasn't that great show or anything. I wouldn't go as far as some and call it trash, because I was entertained for most of the show. Like, it was better than some weeks where I just go, man, is this over yet? At least tonight I was like, all right, this isn't going too bad. This is going all right. So for me, I wouldn't go as far as some in the chat are saying trash, but there was some questionable things. I think we've got some very questionable things. I'm just going to say that. We've got some what we would like to call WVDs, weird Vince decisions. And yeah, oh man. It's just like, you've got a brand new champion in Nikki Cross. And you're going to have her go out there and basically just get destroyed by Charlotte Flair a week later. Like, we'll talk about that match, but the first half of that match, if not 3/4 of that match, was Charlotte no selling. It was just Charlotte no selling for Nikki Cross. And then the costume doesn't help either, making her look legit as a champion. And there's just so much and I get it. It's her idea. She said that she came up with after seeing so many leading ladies in Marvel thinking it would work. They greenlit it really quickly. I get it. It's not a bad idea. But there's a history of superheroes in wrestling kind of being just comedy. Hurricane was all comedy. Rosie, superhero in training. I mean, they called him the shit. So when you look back at it like that, there's just a lot of just what are they doing kind of things. And I don't even know where to start with this. But I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways, either by hitting that donate button down below or donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember that if you are watching on Twitch, you can subscribe to the channel a couple of different ways as well. You can subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe like Aries Sinslayer recently did with Amazon Prime, because if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I greatly appreciate it if you use that free subscription on us right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. All you got to do is get your Twitch account, link it to your Amazon account, bada bing, bada boom. Daddy Jeff Bezos gives you a free Twitch subscription. On the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out a couple of different ways as well. You can help us out in the live chat with a super chat or a super sticker donation. Also, remember, you can subscribe to the channel as a channel member, getting early access to non-news videos, early access to exclusive news, podcast stuff, and so much more. But the most direct way to support us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited is to head over to patreon.com/PW Unlimited. But with that, guys, we've got Monday Night Raw to talk about. This show kicked off with Nikki Ash, the new Raw Women's Champion. Nikki came out. She high-fived and hugged with the young fans along the, I guess you could say, the rampway. And the crowd chanted, "Nikki, Nikki, Nikki, Nikki," as she held the belt up above her head. But there were some slight boos. Majority of the crowd was for Nikki, but there were some slight boos. There's a couple spots where it was very noticeable. Nikki came out and said, "I've always wanted to say this. Welcome to Monday Night Raw." Nikki was happy to be there. She's happy that the WWE Universe is behind her, and she's happy to be the Raw Women's Champion. Crowd then chanted, "You deserve it." She spoke about her dream and that dream coming true. She said she never used to have the confidence that she needed to reach the top because she was afraid to fail. She suddenly realized that if she failed, she failed. That's not that big. Kidding. She said she realized if she fails, oh well, she fails. It's not that big of a deal. She can always try again. She said her new outfit gave her confidence, and she wanted to remind everyone that no matter what, you can overcome the odds if you believe in yourself. You can all almost be superheroes. Here's the thing. Again, almost a superhero. At least when we had Hurricane, at least when we had Mighty Molly, they at least believed that they could have been superheroes. She knows that she ain't a superhero. So basically she's telling us, oh, it's fine. This is just a cosplay. We're just playing. I know I'm not a real superhero. I'm almost a superhero. Bitch, almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. Again, at least with Hurricane and Mighty Molly, they had the confidence to say, I'm a hurricane. I'm a superhero, the Hurricane. But she's just like, you can almost be a superhero. You think you're going to go to Disneyland and meet Captain America and he's going to be like, you can almost be a superhero. No, he's going to say, just like me and the rest of the Avengers, you can also be a hero. Captain America is not going to go tell little kids at Disneyland, you can almost be a superhero. And then that kid's going to be like, fuck Superman or Captain America don't even believe in me. So it's just like, first off, the superhero thing just comes off as she's playing. It doesn't come off as she even believes in her confidence. Like, she believes that if I put on this costume, I have a little more confidence. But using the word almost still makes us believe, at least me, that she still doesn't fully believe in herself. With that, Charlotte Flair would interrupt. Charlotte called Nikki a disgrace as a champion and wondered how she could possibly represent the company dressed the way she is. She couldn't imagine Nikki on the Today Show and now Roker believing that she's the real champion. The crowd booed as Charlotte continued to rant. And Charlotte's one of the probably best females in all pro wrestling that can, on a dime, just react to a crowd. Like, that ain't scripted. The crowd's going to react one way, and Charlotte can just play that crowd to her advantage. Almost better, if not better, than any female I've ever seen in wrestling. So Charlotte blamed Rhea Ripley for all of this because Rhea got mad that Charlotte won last week, walked out as the champion, and then she beat her up. She said, Rhea took me out after she threw a fit. Charlotte also noted that she hadn't even gotten to her feet yet when the match started and accused Nikki of stealing her title, which in the past, when Charlotte had been cashed in on, both Carmella and Bayley, the ref would always go, Charlotte, are you ready? Are you ready to go? And the ref would wait for Charlotte to stand up and then start it. So she's got a point there. The other two times she was cashed in on, the ref waited till she stood up. The fans booed again. Charlotte wanted a rematch. She said, I want to get that title back from you at SummerSlam. Then you will all bow down to the real champion. Crowd booed, of course. She said this was an injustice. This wasn't Nikki's fault. It was the fans egging her on, basically. Charlotte said the same thing. Charlotte said the same things the heels always say, blah, 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 blah. Rhea Ripley then come out. Ripley got a good reaction from the crowd. She didn't think that people were jealous of someone who was champion for only one day. She also noted that Charlotte got herself disqualified last week because she knew that if she didn't, she would be beat by Rhea. Ripley thought that she should be the one getting the title shot at SummerSlam. Nikki then wondered why either of them thought that they could beat her. She's like, just like my butterfly represents, and we hear, boo. She said, just like my butterfly represents. And there are some people that booed that. Not a lot, but enough to hear it. She said it represents a metamorphosis, and she represents change in this division. Again, there was some booing this whenever she mentioned the gear and like the butterfly and stuff. Charlotte and Rhea argued a little bit, and Charlotte referenced Nikki's Super Marvel outfit. And they go on, and Nikki's like, "What? You think either of you can beat me? I represent this division and this and that." And then finally, Sonya Deville and Anna Pierce would come out. And Sonya Deville goes, "You know what? I think we've heard enough. We got a great idea. The title will be on the line at SummerSlam in a triple threat match where Nikki ASH will defend against both Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley." Pierce said, "I like that idea. I really do." Charlotte had earlier said that she can beat Nikki on any night, and then Nikki brought that back up, going, "You know what, Charlotte? You said earlier you can beat me on any night. How about we face off tonight?" And Pierce is like, "Well, you did say it, so let's make it official." Charlotte then attacked Rhea and knocked her out of the ring before Nikki drop-kicked Charlotte out of the ring as well. Again, I hope they don't keep this superhero thing going on too long. Because again, at least with like the Hurricane and Mighty Molly, they believed in themselves as a hurricane or as a superhero. When Nikki keeps saying almost, it cheapens it to, I know I'm not really a superhero. I know I'm just playing. It's whatever. I don't believe it. You don't believe it. You know? Am I wrong? I played a video earlier today. Damian Priest said that Sheamus didn't deserve to be champion. Sheamus makes excuses and attack people from behind. Priest then plans on showing why he deserves to be a champion and go after the title. And then for some reason, Jimmy Smith goes, Damian Priest will be taking on Sheamus later on tonight when he returns to Monday Night Raw. And I go, return? Sheamus, didn't he fight Humberto Carrillo like the last 2 weeks or something like that? But regardless, they called this a United States Championship Contenders match. Basically, if the challenger can beat the champion, they get a title shot. Just call it a non-fucking title match. Why do we need to get cute? I criticize AEW for the same thing when their champions are in matches and they call them contender, or they call them eliminator matches. Like when Pentagon and Eddie Kingston faced off the Young Bucks that 1 week, and they were like, Eddie Kingston and Penta against the Young Bucks in a AEW World Tag Team Championship eliminator match, where if they win, they get a title shot. And then they won and got a title shot. Well, it's the same fucking thing WWE's now doing, calling it a championship contenders match. You know what a championship contenders match is? It's a fucking number one contenders match where the champion is not in it, but 2, 3, 4, 5 people face off for the opportunity to face the champion. Not you face the champion loses, and then you get to just face him again in a rematch. Again, I've criticized AEW forever for doing this. Same damn thing. Also, we've got more about this later. Thank you to Haha Geo in the YouTube chat for the super chat donation. He says, worst idea to happen, Brawl for All or the Invasion. Brawl for All. Going forward, we did have that non-title match of Damian Priest against Sheamus. Match went about 10 minutes. Priest psyched out Sheamus with the fake dive, but it didn't matter because Priest went for a spinning heel kick instead, and Sheamus simply caught him and dropped him on the apron, which sent us to a break about 2 minutes into the match. Sheamus was in control until Priest fought back with a clothesline and a spinning heel kick that knocked Sheamus' mask off his face. Sheamus went to the top, but Priest grabbed him and brought him down with a big choke slam and a near fall. Sheamus came back with an Alabama slam for a 2. Going towards the end of the match here, Sheamus went for a cloverleaf, but Priest kicked him repeatedly in the chest. They had a striking exchange here that led to a knee strike for a near fall. Sheamus then tried pounding Priest's chest, but Priest backed him into the corner, hit a heel kick, hit the lights, and pinned him to pick up the victory. So the champion gets beat, and I guess Damian Priest is now the number one contender. Crowd was into the match, especially with the near falls late. So that was good. Next up, we had a 9.5-minute match. It was AJ Styles and Omos against the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar, with the Raw Tag Team Championships on the line. So Eric and Ivar hit Styles with a flurry of offense early on and worked him over extra hard. There's even a spot where I think it was Ivar was in the ring with AJ, and then Eric ran over and grabbed Ivar by the leg so he couldn't actually get close enough to tag in. I don't know. Finally then almost then destroyed Eric and Ivar at one point, and about 90 seconds in, we went to a commercial. Back from the break, Eric was in the ring with AJ, and he bested him on a strike exchange and tagged Ivar in, who dodged a phenomenal forearm and clobbered Styles with a clothesline. Styles came back with a tornado DDT for a 2. Eric and Ivar double-teamed Styles, but Ivar went to the outside to go after Omos. Eric gave Styles a knee strike for a close near fall and almost managed to break free. Styles then tagged out, and Omos came in and gave Eric a just great looking, actually, delayed scoop slam, or some people call it a tree slam, before chucking Ivar from the ring. Omos then gave Eric a tree slam. Styles tagged in and hit a springboard 450 to pick up the victory and retain the tag team championships. Wasn't a bad match at all. I liked it. I thought it was fun. But you've got fucking AJ Styles out there in his mid-40s, 44 years old, just effortlessly doing these springboard 450s, flying across the ring with the phenomenal forearm. Like he's 34. Like he's 24. 44 years old. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So Jinder Mahal cuts a promo for the upcoming match. Mahal was disgusted that the crowd cheers for Drew McIntyre and cheered for McIntyre clobbering Shanky last week with the chair, and they showed a replay, and they did the cuts every time. 1, 2, 3, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, every single one. They showed them all, and they did a camera cut every time, and I go, I'll get motion sick just watching this replay. Anyways, Mahal said that he brought his special attorney and says that if McIntyre doesn't what's the word I'm looking for, apologize, he will sue. Mahal says he gives him one more chance to apologize. McIntyre then told him to shut up. He asked the crowd if he should apologize and buy them a steak dinner. They booed. He asked if he should beat Veer within an inch of his life. They cheered. McIntyre led the crowd in a Drew is gonna kill you. He's like, I want to hear the crowd. Drew is gonna kill you. They're gonna say it. Drew is gonna kill you. He directed it towards Mahal, and the crowd sang along with him. So we had Drew McIntyre versus Veer. And if anybody doesn't know, Walt Disney Studios made a movie about Veer called $1 Million Arm. It's a true story about Veer, where he was scouted in India to play baseball as a pitcher. He was a cricket player. Guy comes overseas, scouts him and a couple others, trying to just find the next big thing for baseball. And eventually he sees Veer, or Rinku Singh, his real name, finds him and one other kid that could throw 90+ mile-an-hour fastballs. He brings it back to the United States, tries to get them, signed by a Major League Baseball team, eventually gets them a look from the Pittsburgh Pirates. They offer him a contract. They played in minor league, never made it to the majors, but this fucker's got a movie about his life. WWE's never mentioned that and never tried to capitalize off of that. Not only is there a movie about his life, like you could say, oh, well, what's some independent company? No, fucking Walt Disney Studios made a movie about this guy, and WWE's never tried to capitalize off of that. Granted, the movie did all right in theaters and got like a 65-70% Rotten Tomatoes. I liked $1 Million Arm. I thought it was a very entertaining movie. I mean, it's got Bill Paxton in it and John Hamm. I mean, it's got a good, Lake Bell is in it. It's got a decent cast. So I just don't know why WWE has never capitalized on saying, this guy, he was recruited to play baseball because he's got such a great arm. He's throwing 90-mile-plus-an-hour fastballs. And because the story is so interesting, Disney made a movie about him. Like, why haven't they ever mentioned that? No, he's just got to be someone's backup because he apparently got tall between then and now and put on some weight. Because if you looked at him when he tried to play baseball and look at him now, there's no way you would say that's the same guy. You'd go, no, that ain't the same guy. That ain't the same guy at all. He does not look anything. He looked shorter back then, which I don't know if he actually was shorter, but because he was scrawny, he looked shorter. Regardless, he got beat by Drew McIntyre in 3 minutes and 50 seconds when this match ended in a disqualification. Veer did get some offense in, but McIntyre was getting desperate, so he slid Veer a chair. McIntyre Claymore kicked the chair into Veer's face, and the referee called it a DQ. McIntyre also gave the lawyer a Claymore kick as Mahal and Veer watched from the stage. He then awarded the win to McIntyre for some weird-ass reason, even though he's the one that used the steel chair, so I don't get that at all. They said, and your winner by disqualification, Drew McIntyre. And I go, Drew, why? Because Veer had the chair in his hand? Drew fucking kicked the chair in his face. Drew gave him the chair. Drew brought the chair into play. Again, WVD, weird Vince decision. I need to get the graphics. I can pop that up on the screen whenever. Anyways. Yeah, this makes no sense. And Corey Graves said, Veer was getting a DQ win in the record books, even though the announcer said Drew McIntyre the winner. So I don't know. They don't even know. And they actually recapped Eva Marie fake tripping last week in Alexa's Playground. Looking just like the biggest goof. Even then told Doudrop not to worry about last week because if they win tonight, they're one step closer to the Women's Tag Team Championships. And then we got a Women's Tag Team Championship contenders match. Natalya and Tamina against Eva Marie and Doudrop. And I go, why the fuck do we need contenders when didn't we just do this 2 weeks ago? Isn't Shotzi and Nox the contenders? Didn't they win one of these damn contenders matches against the champions? So we're just supposed to forget that? They're now the girls backstage to shoot Corbin with their tank? Because they weren't even used for more than 30 seconds on SmackDown last week. It was just, we got this tank. We're tinkering on it. Shoot Corbin in the fucking balls. But regardless, this match went, 3 minutes? Eva Marie started the match. She then backed herself up to the ropes when Natty tried to go after her. She tagged in Doudrop. Doudrop knocked down Tamina with a crossbody, but instead of going for a cover, she tagged in Eva Marie, who wanted to make the cover. Tamina kicked out. Then a video popped up on the screen with the Lily doll making fun of all the Evolution videos, and then said, "We're getting ready for the Lilylution." She wants to show little boys and girls how to follow their nightmares. And this distracted Eva Marie long enough for Tamina to super kick her and pin her. And I don't know what happened to Natty. But Tamina and Natty win. And then all of a sudden they cut to this shot of Natty at ringside with some older lady. I don't know who she is. Some older lady. She's got like fucking CB on so she could talk to the back. I don't know if she's like a doctor, EMT kind of thing. But she's helping Natty around ringside. And Tamina notices and jumps out of the ring as fast as she can. She runs over to the ramp, grabs Natty, and Natty's walking like this. Like out. And she's hopping, just trying to avoid at all costs putting any pressure on her right leg. She's got it fully extended the entire time, not trying to bend. I hope she didn't suffer some sort of a knee injury or something. But I haven't heard anything, and we'll see if we can find out overnight what happened to Natalya. But it's unfortunate if she did get hurt. Very unfortunate. Again, she had to be helped to the back. She couldn't walk on her own. She couldn't put any pressure, or at least she was trying to avoid putting any pressure on her right leg, and she was keeping it as extended as possible, not bend it at the knee or anything. So I don't know if it's an ankle thing, if it's a knee thing, but regardless, it looks like she may have been hurt. Couldn't tell you at what time in the match. So we'll see. If we do find out anything else on Natalya, we will let you guys know as soon as we do. Next up, they go, hey, we got these two guys that the fans both, like, they really want to see both of them do well on Raw because, well, one's the NXT champion and shouldn't be losing, and the other's Keith Lee, and he's very popular, and they don't want to see him lose after he lost last week, but they're going to face each other, and one has to lose. Why did this match have to happen? Why did Karrion Kross have to beat Keith Lee? Karrion Kross could have gone out there and beat anybody in an 8.5-minute match. Anybody but Keith Lee. Are they mad that Keith Lee's going to tell a story? So, Keith Lee sent out a tweet earlier today stating, I want to tell you all my story. What happened while I was gone since, and all the stuff that's gone down since late January. Then, there's like a line break, and the tweet continues and says, but I was told no. That was shot down. He then sends out another tweet and goes, basically, screw it. I'm going to tell my story. Even if I have to just make a video about it, give me a week or two. Well, the initial tweet of him saying that he wants to tell the story of what happened in late January that got him pulled from television and this and that, but he's not allowed to tell the story, that tweet deleted. I don't know if WWE is mad. I don't know. So, we'll stop. I have no clue what happened with Keith Lee. I don't know why he was gone for 6 months. So, again, I have no clue what happened. I've tried to reach out and find out. And all I've ever been told was listed as inactive. I'm like, well, what does that mean? I don't know. He's listed as inactive. That's all I was ever told every time I ask. So, I don't know what the story is, but, and I'm going to go to his Twitter right here. We've got Keith Lee's Twitter. So again, that initial tweet was deleted. So actually, the initial tweet was, I've decided I'm just going to tell you guys the story myself. Give me a week or two. Then there was another one connected to that. I believe, no. See, it's hard to tell because it was deleted. Which one came first? I think it was. It doesn't really matter, but the one where he says, I want to tell my story, but I'm not allowed. I was told, no, I can't. That tweet was deleted. Let's see if I can find it. Someone had to have screenshot it and put it up. You know what I mean? Let's just see here really fast. Keith Lee. I think I know where I can find it. See if it's on Reddit. It might be on Reddit. This is it. This might be it. This might be it. No. That's still not the one. Still the one that's there, not the one deleted. So maybe no one did get a shot. Maybe no one did get a screenshot of the initial tweet. But regardless, basically said he wanted to tell a story. He was then told he can't. And so I don't know, maybe that led to him getting beat tonight. They're mad at him for it. Because then he goes, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it anyway. So. Oh, Warhawk says, I thought he got engaged to Mia Yim. Those two have been engaged for a while, since like before pandemic. Those two have been engaged. Mia Yim and Keith Lee have been engaged since like before pandemic. So that wouldn't keep him off TV for 6 months either. So just saying. Because she was on TV during that period as retaliation. What is that what they called her? I don't even remember anymore. Not retaliation. That wasn't the name. That was a stupid name. Even though she still had a stupid name. What was Miriam's retribution name? In Retribution, me and Yim went by the name Reckoning. That's right, Reckoning. Anyways, but Keith Lee versus Karrion Kross. All due respect, I loved the match. I thought this match was great. Early on, the story was Cross couldn't suplex Lee. Lee was the bigger guy, and Cross ain't used to it. Lee eventually did, though, Lee suplexed Cross early on and knocked him down with the shoulder tackle as well. Cross then drove Lee into the side of the ring and then gave him a Saito suplex on the outside on the floor. This led to a break less than a minute and a half in. After the break, Jimmy Smith let us know this match has lived up to the hype, even though there was no hype for this match. Lee then tried fighting back, but Cross hit a DDT for a 2. Lee fought out of a cross jacket and followed that up with a clothesline, a strike, a headbutt, running shoulder tackle, and so forth. Lee tried to set up for a spirit bomb, but Cross slipped out and hit another Saito suplex. Cross then put Lee in the cross jacket, and Lee struggled a bit before tapping out. Yes, Keith Lee tapped out to Karrion Kross. And they did mention, which I was shocked by, before the match started, they did mention that these two have fought before. Two have fought for the NXT Championship. Karrion Kross picked up the victory on that night. Didn't mention Karrion Kross also picked up an injury on that night, which it's doesn't matter anyways, but still interesting that they mentioned NXT stuff in their previous feud. So in the back, Sheriff Schreiber interviews Nikki Cross, or Nikki ASH. Nikki said that she was no longer afraid to fail. She wanted all the little boys and girls to know that the hardest challenges were worth fighting for. And my first thing is, so we've had this Nikki ASH superhero for how many weeks now? She won Money in the Bank. She won the Raw Women's Championship. And they still ain't got a new Nikki Ash superhero shirt up on shop, at least not of this past weekend, because my son wanted the new John Cena shirt. So I go, okay, I'll buy it for you. But I don't buy one thing for one kid without buying for the other. So I was like, okay, maybe they've got a cool Nikki Ash superhero shirt I can get for my daughter. Nope. Nothing on shop. Like she won the belt and they still don't have a superhero shirt for her. Such a missed opportunity right now. Because if they keep going down the path they went tonight, ain't no one going to care and ain't no one going to want to buy this shirt. So, missed opportunity to, because Nikki said, putting this whole gimmick together and getting the outfit and how they want to present it and the graphics took well over a month. So you would think you're going to do this, and one of the big selling points on her pitching the gimmick was how little boys and girls would love it and it can really be good for fan engagement, and you're not going to come out with a shirt right off the bat, especially not have one ready if she's winning Money in the Bank. So, yeah. Since Saturday says not even the superhero masks are up on shop. Nothing. We literally have a discounted Nikki Cross T-shirt on shop. The Nikki Cross shirt where it's like the mouth and then the Nikki Cross name coming out of it, discounted on shop. That's all they got. Like you would think they got some blue and gold shirt with the butterfly on it, or it says Nikki ASH, something. Nope. Nothing. Rhea Ripley would interrupt. Ripley says that she plans on winning the title at SummerSlam. She also wanted to see Nikki give Charlotte one hell of a fight tonight. Rhea was probably disappointed with that. Next up, we had T-Bar and Mace against Mansoor and Mustafa Ali. Match went about 3.5 minutes. They did mention Retribution in this match, which is very interesting. Mace and T-Bar did a pre-tape promo where they basically said, we're the big men, they're the little guys, and if you look at Evolution, the little guys are always just the food for the big guys. Mace and T-Bar dominated Ali and Mansoor. Oh no, they dominated Ali early, so Mansoor had to make the save where he was pinned. Mansoor then distracted T-Bar long enough to allow Ali to come back with a spinning heel kick. Mansoor then tagged in and hit Mace with the reverse DDT, but T-Bar broke up the pin. Ali then saved Mansoor by wiping out T-Bar with a tornado DDT on the outside that actually looked pretty cool. Mansoor saved Ali from being attacked by Mace. Then Mansoor rolled up Mace in the ring for the pinfall victory. Ali acted super shocked that they actually won here. Mansoor raised Ali's hand in celebration. Ali wasn't super enthused, as Mansoor was, but didn't seem like he hated it. Because remember last week, he's like, I'll do this one time only. Then when they were making their entrance, he literally looks at Mansoor, and Mansoor's like, look at this crowd. They love us. Look at this crowd. It's the WWE Universe. And all he just looks at him right in the face and goes, one time only. One time only. So I think this is going to be a good tag team going forward. They're not doing anything with either guy anyways. Put them as a tag team. They're two great wrestlers. Let them work together. Next up, we had Bobby Lashley responding to Goldberg's challenge from last week. MVP spoke about Goldberg disrespecting Bobby Lashley as the crowd chanted, Goldberg, Goldberg. Now, if you're wondering where was Goldberg, Goldberg's set for every other Raw. So he worked last week, not this week, next week, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, SummerSlam. He's working every other Raw. He said that Lashley didn't plan on dignifying Goldberg with a response last week. He said the ring belongs to him. Cedric Alexander would then interrupt. Alexander said that Lashley disrespected him by kicking him out of the Hurt Business. Alexander claimed that Lashley did so because Lashley knew that Alexander's better. He said that he wanted an opportunity against Lashley. This would then bring out Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin noted how annoying Cedric's voice was. The crowd laughed. Benjamin wasn't here to complain about the Hurt Business. He wanted to give Lashley a real challenge, though. As they argued, MVP told them they didn't have time for this. Lashley then grabbed the mic and goes, you know what? Screw it. I'll take them on both right now. Same time. Here we go. Handicap match me. So we had a handicap match. WWE Champion Bobby Lashley against both Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Two guys that a year ago were pushed as like two dominant factors on the show are now just mincemeat, fodder for the champion, getting just destroyed in less than 3 minutes in a handicap match. Like, is there really anything for me to say? Lashley was in control until Benjamin and Alexander started to kind of work together. They didn't last long, though, because Lashley gave Alexander a spine buster and speared Benjamin. He gave Benjamin a jackhammer and gave Alexander a dominator on top of Benjamin. Then he did the Roman Reigns thing. He stacked him and he pinned him. From the back, AJ Styles approached Miz and Morrison with a proposal, almost blocked the camera. We couldn't see or hear what that proposal was. Next up, we had an almost 10-minute match between John Morrison and Riddle. First couple minutes of the match, not much happened. It was just cool John Morrison Riddle stuff before Miz would spray Riddle with the drip stick. So, this led to a schoolboy for a Morrison off the distraction. Riddle kicks out. Riddle then gets on the apron and penalty kicks Miz right out of his damn wheelchair. Miz is on his back like, oh, I can't get up. So fucking Riddle, lays on the apron and does the whole turtle on his back thing, making fun of Miz. He's like, oh, I can't get up. I can't get up. I'm in the Miz. I'm the Miz. So we go to break, and when we come back, Riddle knocked down Morrison with a springboard dive. Styles almost would then saunter down to the ring. Morrison used a couple of kicks to get a 2 on Riddle, but then Riddle came back with the powerbomb and a knee strike for a 2 of his own. Riddle began climbing the ropes, but was distracted by Styles grabbing his scooter. He was then handed to Omos, and Omos would snap the handlebars off, basically like the front lever. Riddle was very upset here, and the distraction allowed Morrison to slam Riddle, hit the Starship Pain, and pick up the victory. My first question is up. What? This is our sign that Randy's coming back, because there's no need for the tag team champions to start something with Riddle if Randy Orton ain't coming back, and this ain't the plan for SummerSlam. So it looks like Randy could be back as soon as next week. Crowd started chanting for Randy Orton. He didn't show because he's not there. He's planned to be on the show next week. So going forward, we had Reginald versus R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. R-Truth's mic'd up. He's got a wireless pack on. He's got the headset, and he's doing extensions. What's up? What's up? Over there, what's up? People over there, what's up? And it's cool. He doesn't have to carry the mic or whatever. So he keeps the thing, whatever. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So then they go to commercial. We come back, and he's like, what's up? What's up? And out comes Reginald, and he stays mic'd for the entire match. And I go, what the fuck? Take it off. And this is garbage. So he stays mic'd up and he's like, just give me my baby back. I want my baby back. Give me my baby back. And Reginald's like, no, no, no. And so like every time Truth goes to go at him, he does some weird flippy thing to get out of it. You would think like Reginald's not allowed to be touched or something. Because literally every time someone does something to him, he just flip counters it and never gets touched. And that happened about 5 times tonight in this match. And then like Truth pulls his, because he fucker wrestled in a suit. Truth pulls the suit off of him, like the suit jacket. He's like, oh, I'm going to slip out the jacket like that. And he throws the jacket in his face. Reginald backs into the corner trying to pull the jacket up. Truth runs at him with the splash. Reginald moves. Truth splashes the corner. Truth then falls on his butt. Reginald does his little front flip senton splash thing, which I guess is his finish. Picks up the victory. Other 24/7 guys run out. And before the match started, Reginald was making his way down to the ring. Gotta be a goddamn trampoline. Because Reginald literally runs down to the ring. Camera cuts in a very weird, awkward position. And Reginald is made to look as if he runs down the ring and jumps high enough to jump over the top rope and into the ring with the front flip corkscrew thing. But then, no trickery here. It was the Lucha House Party, Tozawa, Gulak, and one other person runs down to the ring because the match is over. 24/7 rules back into play. They run down to the ramp. They run down the ramp. They jump in the ring. Reggie then literally runs at them, jumps over these guys, over the top rope, lands on the floor, kind of wipes out almost. He kind of like slides to save himself balance-wise, and then just runs up the ramp, does a couple backflips, and leaves. The fuck? Yes, I know, Johnny J, that Reginald used to be an acrobatic guy for Cirque du Soleil. But there had to have been a damn trampoline. Nobody can jump from the floor high enough to jump over the ring and the top rope and do that corkscrew flip. Like, no. I highly doubt anyone could do that for real. But the front flip out of the ring, very impressive. Very impressive the way he did that. To do the flip and stuff, very, very impressive. And to do it in those tight pants, they probably have no give in the dress shirt and all that. The dress shirt probably doesn't matter anything, but it's just like, dang. Dang. So going forward, going to our main event match. It went about 12 and a half minutes. It was Charlotte Flair versus Nikki Ash. And again, this was a championship contenders match. Even though, okay, hold on. AJ Reed 843 in the YouTube chat says, I was there live. It was a trampoline. I assumed, just like the old Kalisto entrance. No, Sin Cara entrance. So AJ, if you were there live, I want to know, what were the reactions like for Nikki Ash? Because on TV, mostly cheers, but it sounded like there was at least one section of the crowd booing her when she mentioned anything superhero. Am I wrong? That's how it came off on television. Just asking. But for some reason, this match was considered a championship contenders match, even though it was announced 2.5 hours earlier that Charlotte Flair will be getting a title shot in a triple threat at SummerSlam. Why does this need to be a contenders match? They're not allowed to say non-title anymore, so it's got to be contenders. It's got to be a contender. Anyways, Charlotte was in full control. Nikki tried to act serious at times and come on the offense, and she was just beat down by Charlotte. Charlotte no-sold basically everything for the first 6-7 minutes. At one point, Nikki came back after a break with a crossbody to the outside, followed by a crossbody to the in the ring and a clothesline and a running bulldog for a 2. So, got an update from AJ. He says, cheers at first, then mixed reactions for her as the night went on. Okay, That's how it felt on television watching. It felt like they liked her entrance. They cheered her when she came out and did the whole "Welcome to Monday Night Raw." But then as things went on, they were kind of just like, all right, I'm kind of over this. And more of the crowd was like, okay, whatever. That reassuring how it came off on television and how I perceived it. Angelo, no, Charlotte didn't win the title because this was a non-title match. Title not on the line. So Nikki does a couple of these cross bodies and whatnot. And Charlotte comes back with chops. And if you looked at Nikki after this match, Charlotte beat the fucking shit out of her with these chops. Her chest fucking beat, bruised, like multiple bruises on her chest from these goddamn chops. Charlotte beat her ass. Nikki did try to come back with Tornado DDT. Nikki then tried a flying crossbody, but Charlotte rolled through it. She rolled through it and then was able to hold Nikki down and pin her. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte wins. Kevin Patrick gets shuffled into the ring. They're like, get in the ring, get in the ring. He's like, Charlotte Flair, I just want to congratulate you on your win tonight. And Charlotte's like, congratulate me? Like you thought that there was any other outcome that was going to happen? He's like, there was no way Nikki was going to beat me one-on-one straight up. She's not in my league. And to be honest, it looked like Nikki was not in her league through the entire freaking match. Like, I know there's nothing they can do for the height disparity. Because, like, Charlotte's 5'10", Nikki is what, 5'1"? Nikki Cross is 5'2" at best. And so you've got that height disparity already. But then you put Nikki in the costume, and it just looks like, and again, no offense, Charlotte wrestling a kid. Especially when Nikki's over here trying to hit Charlotte with the forearm, and Charlotte just kind of goes, you're going to hit me again? Charlotte literally went like this. Chop me right here. Give me your worst. And Nikki chops her, and Charlotte just goes, is that it? Like, they literally made it look like Charlotte was fighting a child that had just what's the word I'm looking for? Chance of anything. She got a few things in, like she drop kicked Charlotte out of the ring, then did a sliding drop kick baseball slide to Charlotte on the outside. She got a couple things in. But it was just like, for the most part, they just literally had Charlotte beat her ass and no sell and just make it look, Nikki's your champion. And you've got Charlotte out here just, I don't even know. Because it didn't even stop with the match. Leave me alone, says Charlotte's a bad seller. No, she's really not. She's really not. At all. At all. Give me 1 second, guys. But, so the match, you know, the interview thing goes on where she's like, you really thought that she could have beat me? And she was like, that's kind of like disrespectful to me to think that there was going to be any other outcome. And Nikki grabs the mic and she goes, Charlotte, I know I just lost to you. It's because I'm almost a superhero. I'm not really a superhero. Like, are you fucking kidding me with this shit? She then says, and I quote, I showed myself that I almost could have won. Almost could have won. Again, they're telling us that she's not good enough, that she knows she's not good enough. This shit is so bad. She goes, And I know that I almost could have won. And because of that, I'm confident enough that I want to challenge you again next week, Charlotte. And I might be able to beat you. And Charlotte's just like, you want to what? Again next week? Are you for reals? Sure, fine, whatever. I'll beat you again next week. Charlotte then boots her in the face, lays her out, takes her to ringside where there's a little girl in the front row with a Nikki Ash sign. And she's just like, is this the role model you want to be, Nikki? Is this what you want to be? And she's like holding her up against the apron with the little girl holding the sign right there. And she's like telling Nikki to look at it. And finally she lets Nikki go and just boots her in the face. And I'm just like, God, this is so bad. Nikki is the champion. And they're literally just making her look like there's no way. Like, it's supposed to be that once she does finally beat Charlotte, this is going to be this big, miraculous victory. Because she got to win. Because if you remember, she can technically say, I've beaten Charlotte Flair in the past. I've beaten Rhea Ripley in the past in the record books. But that was because she did timed matches that, I can beat you in 2 minutes. And then once the match gets, the time limit has expired, Nikki technically wins. Again, none of that made her look good either. And now you're doing the superhero thing that against Charlotte Flair makes it look like Charlotte's wrestling a damn kid on Halloween. What this looked like tonight was a high school Halloween party where you've still got the one teenager that likes to dress up and play superhero, and then you have that bully that goes, Halloween's for kids. You don't dress up for Halloween anymore. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to beat you up till you learn your lesson of, you're too old for this. That's how it fucking came off. The high school bully beating up the other student because they still believe in the magic of dressing up for Halloween, getting their costume on, and this and that. That's exactly how this came off tonight. And that's not how your champion should be being perceived. That's not how we should be perceiving the champion. At all. At all. AJ in the chat says, John Cena worked a dark match where he teamed with Riddle against T-Bar and Mace. Then he says, it wasn't a good show. ... I drove 2 hours for that shit. Wow. But regardless, I don't know what they're doing, Nikki. This is not the move to do. If she's not the champion, cool. You the experiment of the superhero gimmick. What do they think? Well, it got over with the Hurricane back in the day. Yeah, because he believed he was a fucking superhero with an alter ego of reporter Gregory Helms or Shane Helms, whatever he was going by then. But he believed when he put on the costume, not, I put on this costume and it gives me some confidence, but I know I'm not quite fully confident. No, not at all. Now I want to know what you guys thought of tonight's Raw, because I've told you what I thought of tonight's Raw, and I've hammered on enough, but I want to hear from you guys. Remember, if you want to be part of tonight's show, you can do so by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that number is 510-906-1341. But first, let's check the polls. First poll here, 50% split. Half of you in Twitch thought that the show was just all right, and the other half didn't like it. Nobody liked it. It was 50% all right, 50% didn't like it. As we go over to the YouTube poll, 36% thought it was just all right, 35% liked it, and 28% did not like tonight's Raw. So going forward, as far as the text messages do go, let's load those up right here. This person says, Says, do you see Damian Priest winning a championship on the main roster? Eventually, yeah, I could see him being U.S. champion for sure. I believe that's going to be the SummerSlam match, where I wouldn't be against him winning the U.S. title at SummerSlam. Says, you see RK Bro taking the titles from AJ and Omos? Most definitely should do that. I most definitely think that this whole thing should lead to RK Bro winning the tag titles at SummerSlam, getting a huge reaction from the 40,000 plus fans, and then going from there. Says, when do you think Becky is coming back? I don't know. And everybody I've asked don't know. Other reporters don't know. Nobody knows. This person says, I thought Raw was just so-so. Nikki Ash definitely deserves the Women's Championship more than Charlotte Reigns. But 2 questions. How do you feel about the team Mansoor and Mustafa Ali? And has WWE buried Keith Lee? I don't know if you can call it burying Keith Lee. Not a good look for him to lose twice in a row after being gone for 6 months. As far as Mansoor and Ali, as I said earlier, I think it's great for both of them. Put them in a team, let them work together. They're both great. It says, I will say Nikki wasn't buried. Was Daniel Bryan buried when Triple H kicked his ass for 10 minutes 2 weeks before the main event, their Mania match? No. You were supposed to feel bad for him. Same with Nikki. Not the same thing. Bryan always 100% believed. Bryan never said, well, you know what, Triple H, you beat my ass. I almost got you, but you got me. No. Daniel Bryan always believed that even when Triple H beat his ass, he showed back up that next week and goes, that ain't going to stop me. No, not at all. Plus, Triple H had help. The authority. Regardless. It's not the same thing at all because Daniel Bryan always fucking believed in himself. He was called a B+ player, and he always said, no, I'm not just a B+ player. But with Nikki Cross, she's called lame. She's called someone playing superhero. And then she goes, yeah, I know I'm almost a superhero. I know I'm not really a superhero. Ha 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 ha. But I'm more confident than I was a few weeks ago in myself. No, that's not fully 100% believing in your abilities. Daniel Bryan always fully believed in his abilities. Another question about Damian Priest versus is Halloween Havoc pay-per-view on September 7th or October 17th. Not that I've heard of. I mean, maybe NXT can do it, but if you remember last year, Halloween Havoc was a special episode of NXT, if I'm thinking correctly. It was a Wednesday, wasn't it? Wednesday, October 28th, maybe? It was a Wednesday show, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe they could do Halloween Havoc again. Haven't heard anything either way. First says, do you think it would have been better for the opening of the show? Okay, there's 2 text messages here. I don't know about you, but I honestly thought the Nikki Cross Charlotte match was meaningless, especially for the main event. Yes and no. I get what they're trying to do, but it just didn't come off right. First says, what would be your reaction if Charlotte got released Wednesday morning? That's not going to happen, so there's no reason to even think about that. And why? What's Wednesday morning have to do with it? Like that. No offense, but that was a fucking stupid text message. First said, just found out a while ago at SummerSlam that Nikki. Well, yeah, duh. You just found out a while ago. We all found out a while ago. We all found out about 4 hours ago when they announced it. Because I think Raw did all right tonight. Do you see Keith Lee get pushed soon? No. You got beat 2 weeks in a fucking row. Choked out this week by Karrion Kross. No, he's not getting pushed. I have 2 things. How do you see Eva Marie Dewdrop angle ending? And also, I saw BTE. I haven't watched BTE. I usually don't watch BTE unless someone tells me to. I heard Dark Order's back after they banned Dark Order, so that's stupid. I heard that Dark Order just got back on the show. No real reason. Says, who do you want to see Raw Women's Champion after SummerSlam. And plus, I think Natalya hurt right leg. Yeah, I think Natty hurt herself somehow. I don't know. She couldn't put any pressure on her right leg and couldn't walk. Raw Women's Champion. I don't fucking care. Give it back to Rhea Ripley. Says, are WWE going to cancel Total Bella show if Brian goes to AEW? They're already not doing another Total Bellas. The Bellas both said they were done with it after the last season. So Brian going to AEW had nothing to do with anything. They both said that they didn't want to do it anymore anyways. Thank you, New Jeffrey. This person is not Raw related. Why do you see KO and Baron Corbin as a team? Team, a bad way to turn Corbin. I don't know. I mean, why is Kevin Owens coming to his aid when Ziggler and Rude stole his money? They're going to team him up. That's what it's going to be. They're going to team him up. It's blatantly obvious. But regardless, yeah, that was Raw. They made their Raw Women's Champion look like a kid that got bullied at a high school Halloween party for dressing up as a superhero. Kudos, WWE, kudos. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Remember to follow us on social media. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD. Follow us on Instagram by searching for Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And follow us on Twitter at PW Unlimited. So with that, we will be live right back here tomorrow for NXT. So have a great night, guys, and we'll see you next time.